Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm back with another K-drama to see. Have you already seen it? And if not, is it something that you would check out? So before we get into this video, you already know the drill. Like this video, follow me for more, and share this with someone that you know would be into K-dramas and will potentially check it out. Okay, so let's get into it. The name of today's K-drama is called He is Psychometric. This K-drama essentially focuses on the special skills of a young boy named Lee An, and he essentially lost both his parents at an extremely young age to a terrible fire or explosion that took place in the apartment complex that they used to live in. Strangely enough, after this incident, it seems that our boy developed like psychometric powers, and for a lot of people that don't know what that means, it's essentially that like whenever he touches something with his like bare hand, he kind of gets like visions of certain memories surrounding that particular object or like that person. When he first, developed or learned that he had this ability, he was essentially pretty freaked out, as most people probably would be. And so he kind of like tried to avoid touching things, but over time, he learned how to like live with it. And when I say he learned how to live with it, I mean our boy essentially would kind of keep his hands in his pockets when he walked. He would use his elbows to like press buttons and keys, like that kind of thing. Ultimately, he kind of grows up to be a really carefree, easygoing guy, and he just can't seem to stay out of trouble. As we're watching the show, we essentially learned that the night of that explosion at the apartment complex, he was actually saved by a teenage boy, and that kid essentially risked his own life to bring him to safety. Through and through, the two of them grow up together, and this boy kind of ends up taking care of him and raising him. And that boy, his name is Kang Song Mo, and he grows up to be a prosecutor, and he ends up kind of like adopting An from like the orphanage, and he is doing everything he can to make sure that things are good for him in life. Though Lee An essentially tries to avoid touching a lot of people to avoid using his power, like I would say that Songmo is actually one of the very few people that is aware that he does have this ability, and Songmo essentially keeps encouraging him to learn how to master those skills, because it's something that not a lot of people have that ability to do. There is another person that is aware of his ability, and that's actually like a mutual friend of theirs, and that person is a police detective. It seems that there's a fast forward in the there's a time skip in the show, and we kind of fast forward to another investigation of another fire case that happened in a care home. We're finding that there are some similarities in this case that also existed in the first case, where they did find a couple of ladies in that home were prior to the fire being set. So it's kind of giving serial unaliver. As we're watching the show, we kind of see that Leon and Jane, they ultimately end up running into each other quite a bit of times, and it doesn't really seem like they really like each other too much, or that there might be some tension between the two of them. But as the storyline progresses, we kind of like watch all of that shift. While everything is going on, essentially, there's this horrible teacher at the school that I would say is bullying Jane, and that teacher kind of lets it slip that Jane's dad is an unaliver. As you're watching the show, it kind of really looks like Jane wants An to kind of look into her father's case, because there are this is now a second and now another incident that happens where the MO is essentially really similar to the apartment complex that caught on fire. And so now it looks like, hey, like if my dad is away, like who could have possibly committed these crimes? Now one day, An is, after the two of them meet up again years later, he's accompanying Jane while she's on patrol as a police officer, and she's on neighborhood patrol, and the two of them stumble across a suitcase which has a body in it. Now, this suitcase is linked to another suitcase that was found, previously. The more that they try to investigate the situation, the more that it's starting to look like the first fire explosion, the home explosion, and the suitcases are all linked to each other, and that they may have an actual serial unaliver on their hands. Now, other things start to kind of come into light, and it's starting to look like who could the unaliver really be? Now, if you've already seen this K-drama, definitely let me know in the comments how you felt about it. And if you haven't seen it, definitely let me know if this is something that you would check out. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Okay, thanks, bye.